And now we'll hear again a brief word from James. I knew the assault was coming. I had lived in continual dread of it. For more than a decade, I'd prayed both privately and publicly that the Lord preserve us from persecutions in Jerusalem. Yet I could not shake the dread and the expectation. It was coming. Unless behavior changed, it was most certainly coming. Some of those who professed Jesus to be the Christ also preached religious apostasy. Our leaders did not disapprove. Our leaders took no stand at all. I begged them to put a palpable distance between the libertines and ourselves, but these leaders did nothing. Therefore, I cannot blame the authorities for seeing all the followers of Jesus in a single undifferentiated sect. Truth be told, the majority of believers in Jerusalem were horrified by the cavalier dismissal of circumcision and the disdain some brothers expressed for Torah. This had never been the teaching of Jesus. Jesus had not come to destroy the law. He had come to fulfill it. Not a jot of the words of Moses would he change or erase. So I said, so I argued, and no one listened. And the assault came, as I feared it would. God, it gives me great pain and no pleasure to record the accuracy of my anticipations. I am no prophet. There is no mystery here. I'm a plain man who reads what is plainly in view, the feelings and deeds of people both powerful and weak. So, King Herod Agrippa, already beloved of its citizens, gave greater joy to the zealots and the Sadducees and the priests. He arrested James, the brother of John, and the son of Zebedee. It may have been a religious matter only, no matter. The king wanted to display his political potency in the empire at large. Therefore, he did not stone James, which Torah would require. Rather, he killed him according to methods more Roman. James, my namesake, was beheaded. A sword and a single stroke cut clean through the neck of that apostle, one of the 12, the first of that company to die. Nothing was the same thereafter. Jerusalem rejoiced. King Herod, thinking to double the delight, next arrested Simon Peter. While the sacred days of the Passover forestalled his execution, Simon escaped from prison under the guidance of an angel. Quickly and rightly, he departed Jerusalem. So did most of the 12. In their absence, by a terrible default, leadership fell to me. I did not seek this. I did not want to be right. But once it was mine to choose for the Church of Jesus Christ, my brother, I put my own advice into practice. My pieties were seen by faithful Jews as faithfulness. Obedience became the rock of the church. The fastness to protect it against rain and flood and the beatings of wind, it would not fall. I was no threat to Jerusalem. I was honored. I ate no meat. I laid no razor to my head. I had never anointed myself with the oils of Roman decadence. I never went to the baths. I never wore wool but linen only. And I alone among believers was permitted to go so near the temple of God, almost to go into it, where I knelt and prayed continually for the sake of my people. It was I who sent messages to the believers abroad. news of the death of James, and exhortations to live within the house of Israel. I was most anxious that Antioch receive my messages. And it did. But Barnabas and Saul did not. They had been absent for more than half a year, and no one knew where to find them.